Hi guys, Randall here, and I've been getting a lot of questions about how to build Summer Kilfei. To be honest, I don't know yet, so that's what we're gonna do today. We are gonna take her into the arena in several different builds, Evasion, Bruiser, Glass Cannon, and we'll just see how she does and which one is the strongest build depending on your enemies. So without further ado, let's begin with our first build. So let's look at our Evasion team comp. We have Summer Kilfei, she's going to be the star of the show. She is paired with Black Witch Helena and Frederica because they both have ways to increase her evasion through TMR abilities. What Summer Kilfei wants to do is walk next to Black Witch Helena and then use a buff for her tankiness, right? One of her spirit up buffs. Then Black Witch is going to use Luelle's TMR to increase both their luck, and then Frederica, who we increased to a movement of 4, is going to walk next to them and use Nivlu's TMR on the two of them. So now we're going to have Kilfei with Evasion up and Luck up. You could try to make her use Shadow Cast from the Thief sub-job, and she might decide to use that eventually. But if I try to make Shadow Cast higher in her priority, I'm giving up the chance to use Bells, and I feel like that's going to be a more impactful move. Then in terms of vision cards, we have Rob's VC, which is going to increase light unit evasion, so that's going to work well with her. And we should technically be running something like Tetrasulfid for more evasion, but I haven't farmed Resonance with any Esper other than Odin, so that's what we're going to run for every single build today. So with that said, let's find an enemy and just test it out. So this first matchup should be favorable. We have an enemy King Mont, he's going to be really hard to kill, same for Rain, but at least they don't have any extra source of accuracy outside of this item on Charlotte, so we should be able to hit them. Also, there's 13 more accuracy on Encounter of Heroes, but I don't think that's going to be game changing. So let's go in and see how that match goes. Again, I'm not sure how evady our Kilfei will be, but she needs to dodge a lot of hits because that's going to be a very tanky enemy team. It's also going to show the damage potential of this build because we do sacrifice some offense to make the evasion work. So let's see how that goes. Wish for Peace is cast, we are going to have an evady Kilfei, and then an Inherited Bewitching Art is cast on everybody, so all the evasion buffs we can have are on. Also, Black Witch gets surprisingly evady when you increase her luck like that, so maybe she'll get a lucky dodge in, but I would not count on that against an enemy King Mont. So enemy teams have cast their buff, we use Spirit Ward Mastery on everybody, so now we all have that, but I don't know how good the magic resist is going to be. Taunting Spell, that's a pretty good bit of damage on King Mont, but then we're all grouping up for his following attacks, so that's definitely not looking good. Also, I don't think we've dodged a single attack from Charlotte. But Kilfei is our most evady character by far, so that's not surprising. Well, maybe we dodged a hit, I don't know. So King Mont comes in, we have a reflex, and then he just misses both, I guess because of the reflex on Fred, but that's pretty good. Rain hits, and now it's the Black Witch's turn, she's following up on her attack on King Mont, and now finally, Kilfei's slowly moving into the fight. A barrage is not going to do much, Charlotte moves in, misses Fred again. Looks like Frederica does get fairly evady with this build as well, so that's pretty funny. Black Witch deals a little bit of damage, I guess, but then gets taken down by King Mont. So we've lost one. Can Kilfei do anything? Rain just decides to one-shot our Frederica, so now it's up to Kilfei to win the fight. So far, 0 dodges with all those buffs, so not really good. Then dodges King Mont's attack, that's good. What about Rain's? Rain lands his hit, so yeah, we don't seem to be dodging all that much, even though we're running that build. And it's not an especially accurate enemy team, so I just don't know about the dodging potential of Kilfei in that setup. Maybe she would need more support from vision cards, I guess, but it's kind of hard to get more than what we already have going here. So dual break, yeah, she ends up going down with only a couple dodges to her name. So far, not the strongest build, I think. So let's test out this build against Black Witch, Zazan, and King Mont. It's a super strong enemy team, I'm not necessarily expecting a win, and the enemy Black Witch is going to be super accurate with that vision card that gives accuracy up, and also she has a buff that's going to increase the accuracy of quite likely Zazan. So I guess we'll just see how that goes. So far we've tried the build a couple times, and while Kilfei does dodge roughly 50% of the incoming attacks, she doesn't reach a point like Vinera would or some other high dodge oriented characters. So it's not an especially reliable build, I think. Let's see how it goes this time. So Spirit Ward Mastery number 1, Kingmont uses Revitalize, and I don't think they're using any buff in terms of accuracy, so that should be good. We have our Luck Up buff, that's definitely good, and Inherited Bewitching Art on top. So Killphase should be at the best of her evasion. That only lasts for a couple turns though, so we need to get to the fight early on if we want to benefit from those buffs. It is one of the issues of running evasion builds in that map, is that your buffs don't really last for the entire fight, so you end up being a little bit of trouble eventually. We drop the Tenable Rose onto Kingmont. That's going to do roughly half his HP if I'm compared to usual fights. Yeah, there we go. So he's a little bit damaged. Now Frederica starts using some other buffs, which won't really matter. And Kingpin Smash misses the Black Witch. So that's one of the pros of running an evasion build, is even your non-dodge oriented characters will get a lucky dodge once in a while. Killphase moves in, slows Kingmont. That's going to be pretty good, except for the fact that he would have died otherwise to this. But hey, I won't complain. Kingmont is dead, and we've hit Zazan fairly hard. So far, Black Witch really carrying our team. Now, Butterfly Sting onto Zazan, I'm not sure how much damage that'll do. Frederica is not built for damage on our team, and also fighting an Earth unit, but it seems like it's enough. He survives, uses Fake Death, and then Black Rose's Hex hits everybody on our team, so that's what I was. Oh no, it does miss Killphase. So Killphase dodged that, finishes Zazan off a second time, comes back to life again, and it's the Black Witch's turn again. Is she gonna miss one more time? I don't know. I don't think I've seen Killphase move to the side like her dodge animation shows, so we'll see. Nope, it does hit Killphase and almost takes her out, so far only one dodge to her name. Does dodge Zazan's attack and finishes him off, but she's giving her back to the Black Witch, so that's really bad. I don't know that she's gonna dodge that in a back attack, and she does not, so there you have it. Again, she dodges roughly half the incoming attacks, and it's not really enough to be worth building for evasion in my opinion. So with that test in mind, we're moving on to our second build, the Bruiser Killphase. I feel like that's going to be the strongest option, but I might be mistaken. Again, first time testing those. So we're replacing Rob's VC with Fenrir for some magical resistance, and then we're taking a bunch of characters with good spirit and resistances overall. So Moore is going to have good slash resist with the combination of those two VCs, Silma also, so yeah, we should be rather bulky overall. Let's see the stats we have. We're switching back to this sub-job just because I don't want her to use thief abilities, so why keep it? Our attack has lowered significantly. We've lost roughly 200 attacks, so that's impactful, but we now have 34 spirit, which should be a lot better. And then our resistances to slash has gone up to 38 and 27 to magic. We're going to increase that to magic by 30% with Summer Killphase buff, and we're going to increase slash resist by 20% with Silma's buff if everything goes well. So we should be fairly tanky to incoming attacks, but we'll see how that goes. And then Moore is mainly tanky because of her 82 spirit. That's going to go up to 97 once we use Summer Killphase buff, so that's going to be really good. Also, her resistances are off the chart, so she's going to live for a very long time in those fights. And then finally, Silma still has decent tankiness, decent magic as well, okay defenses, and she's mainly there as a support, but has good survivability and damage still. She is definitely a UR disguised as an MR unit. So with that said, let's go in the fight. Our enemy is Killphase Yuna Black Witch, so that's normally a very threatening team, but they have only slash and or magic attacks, so I feel like we have a good shot, especially if we can get our buffs in before the Black Witch moves in and tries to one-shot us. We should be doing fine. Also, in previous matches where I was using Moore and Silma, they typically survive at least one attack from the Black Witch, so I'm seeing this in a favorable mindset. So we do get 2 of our buffs up. That is really good. Now I hope Killphase gets to use bells before she begins fighting. Otherwise, she's going to run out of AP fairly early. Moore uses her own barrier. That's going to be good. And then Silma's going to get another turn, and she's probably going to use Crimson Resistance onto our Killphase as well. So that should do well. Then with the way they've positioned, we're going to be able to boost Silma as well with Killphase. So yeah, all the AoE buffs are cast, we are ready to fight, but we did not get to use bells, and now we're starting to fight. So Killphase is going to run out of AP fairly soon. Looks like Moore's moving back, but I like the fact she's increasing magic attack for Silma. That is going to have an impact. Oh, Yuna has Fury Surge. That is not good. With that, she's going to ignore our very high magic resistance. But here we go. We can now see how well Killfay takes this attack from the enemy Black Witch. And she takes it fairly well, did not even lose half her HP, so far so good. And if the fight lasts long enough, we're gonna have a chance to heal her back up, so that's not too bad. Killfay chooses to use Summer Fatale. I wonder if she's gonna one-shot or not. Black Witch is fairly tanky, and nope, it was not enough for a one-shot. We do get a Cura off though, so Killfay is healthy enough to tank yet another hit coming from the Black Witch. Moore's probably also casting a buff. Okay, goes for Nimble Movement. Let's see what the Black Witch does now. She's probably casting Black Rose's Hex, and in the meantime, the enemy team is just staying back. So far so good. We're just gonna be jamming thrust the Black Witch and finish her off before she does anything else. And at that point, Killfay's like, here, have a buff again. I don't want to use bells. And she decides not to drop it. I don't mind though, because now that we have all those buffs up, Yuna's Limit Break will probably do almost nothing to our team. Well, color me impressed. Yeah, she has Fury Surge, that's right, so she ignores 50% magic resistance, which means she's still able to hit our Killfay really hard. Not what I expected in terms of build, but had she not equipped Garval's TMR, we would have been able to do pretty serious damage there. So, okay, Moore is taking that hit really well, and then our Silma is starting to cast a heal, so we might have a shot at keeping Killfay alive until the very end. Let's see what happens. So Cura is cast, does affect both our units, and now Moore probably kills the enemy Killfay. There we go. So we end up the fight. Oh, Killfay's back. I guess she might have a chance to kill her own Killfay. We'll see. But we seem to be surviving really well. So for a build that's designed around survivability, so far so good. We will do another match though, because I feel like the enemy AI playing a little bit wonky like they did definitely gave us an edge we should not have had. So, Zazan, Kingmont, and Killfay with the Vision card for Slash Attack up for light units. They should be hitting really hard, and I'm really afraid to fight those, but let's see what happens. With these Slash Resistance up buffs, we should be fairly good, but Kingmont is going to reduce her Slash Resistance, and then they'll probably have easy kills onto our guys, especially since Moore is really built more towards surviving magical attacks, and they don't even have magical attacks on their team. But let's try it and see just how that goes. So we use Spirit Ward Mastery, that's good. Then Killfay uses Revitalize on the enemy team, so she already has a ton of AP to use. We're gonna give 1% slash resistance, the second buff is coming in a minute. And Moore is built for magic resistance again, so that's what she does. Zazan has his means of survivability down. We have to kill him 3 times now. And we have reduced slash resistance on Moore already, so whenever Summer Killfay moves in for the enemy team, we are going to lose Moore very quickly. Let's see what happens. The enemy team groups, so that is not bad. We renew our buffs, also not terrible, and then Moore is going to be able to drop her Limit Burst on 2. But enemy Summer Killfay is probably very tanky to magical attacks, like all Summer Killfays are, so I'm not expecting a kill right now. There we go, barely even notices the hit. That is not going well. Zazan has Hate down, we're not going to target him for a while, and then Stun Blade onto Moore doesn't really do much. So far, so good. We Frostbite the enemy Kingmont, so I guess that's going to have an impact, but we immediately lose Moore. That's where you see how powerful those time-limited VCs are for the enemy Summer Killfay. It is enough to give her insane damage onto our Moore. 7,000 is not what I want to see when the enemy team hits us. Now, we are in a fairly good space. We've taken out Kingmont, and we don't have reduced slash resistance on the rest of our team. Zazan hits our Killfay for roughly half her HP, and then she takes a turn, but she's out of AP to use any good move. So she just slaps Zazan and gives him haste, because, you know, that was such a good idea. Then Killfay moves in to attack our To-Be, but just misses the hit because of that. To be honest, I don't think Killfay would have had the kill there. Our own To-Be is fairly tanky for those attacks. But hey, I guess we're never gonna know. So we finish off Killfay, and at that point, it is To-Be versus Hasted Zazan with Immortal Spirit and Re-Raise. Let's see how that goes. Well, Zazan goes twice in a row, reduces our healing power, which will matter because we have healing power, healing back whenever we hit an enemy. We one-shot Zazan once, he's back to life, uses Rune of Slash. Are we gonna kill him one more time? I don't think so. I think he'll finish off with a basic attack. No, goes for Midsummer Refreshment instead. That was probably not his best move. Now we're able to take him down again and win the fight. That was really a wonky match, but I guess we won. So we're moving on to third team comp, the Assassin build. We're trying to stack as many offensive buffs as we can to see if we can one-shot enemy teams. Now, this is going to be much stronger if you own the time-limited light vision card, because there's one for light attack up, and then there's the House of Beowulf that gives slash attack up for light units. You could do much better than what I'm doing here. But with the VCs my account has, this is what we're getting. We'll still get a lot of offensive buffs from Tidus, with Haste, with Cheer, and then Tabi is going to hit hard as well. We just want to see the damage potential that this team has, and whether we can kill the enemy team before they kill us. Again, my kill phase is only at 115, she doesn't have 99 bravery, only 90, but I think this will still show her potential really well. We've dropped down in the resistances quite a bit, but we have a higher mod on our attack, and our attack is still almost at 1400, so that should be good. Tabi is definitely a hardcore carry with 1400 attack, and then she's got 30 spirit, which is going to go even higher with the buff from Summer Killface, so she should be able to take a couple hits before going down. And then finally we have Tidus. He's really mainly tanky against physical attacks, has roughly 1200 attack, so that's going to be fine. And yeah, let's just see how that team does. Let's go in game. So, let's begin against Dwayne, Kingmont, and Black Witch Helena. I don't know that we can burst Kingmont and Dwayne that easily with our build, but we'll see. That's what we're testing this for. So, let's go in and just see how much damage we're lacking, or if we have enough with those units. That might go better if our Tidus had Suteki Dane, but then that would mean reducing the slash attack on everyone on our team, so I feel like the trade-off was not worth it. So, first things first, we increased our Tabi spirit in the 40s, so that will be good if she's taking a hit from the enemy Black Witch. Tabi then immediately uses Inherited Tyranny because I feel like she's gonna need that against the enemy tanks. We do need the extra buff. We use Cheer on everybody, which is not bad. A little bit of defense will definitely help Killfay because she is rather weak against physical threats. And then Kingmont is following the Black Witch, and they're just buddies in this fight. Looks like Tidus decided not to use his buff of Haste on Killfay and just has it on himself. That is a little bit unfortunate, but we'll see what happens there. So, finishes casting Haste, at least he's gonna be fast, he thinks. Black Witch has their Black Rose's Hex onto our Tabi and only takes away half her HP. That's thanks to all the spirit we gave her, so that's not too bad. And then Claw of the Lion King misses Tabi, which is definitely good. Killfay finally uses Revitalize, and we are now ready to go. Let's see if we can burst them down, or if we'll just die to the Black Witch before we do anything. The good thing is they group, so we'll be able to hit both together with an Impaler Plus, almost one-shotting the enemy Black Witch, but barely not having enough damage, which means Black Witch will now have a chance to drop her Limit Burst on our team. I definitely don't like that. I think she's going to kill both units for sure, right? I don't know that with her spirit down, Tabi can survive that. Yup, both units go down to the combo, so that's not good at all. Let's see how much damage Killfay can do in that build against Kingmont. Now, a lot of Kingmonts have super high slash resistance, so that might be the case, but it doesn't seem so. We do take him out, and then Dwayne moves on to Summer Killfay and just one-shots her with 7800 damage. So, first match, the build did not work out, but we were fighting a super strong enemy team, so that was to be expected. Okay, time to try it out against Killfay, Zazan, and Black Witch Helena. Another very powerful team. We've seen how the matchup goes against Black Witch, but let's see if we can take it home this time. I did change a little thing in our team comp, and I've made Tabi a little bit slower than Tidus. So now she will be taking Cheer from Tidus on the first turn, which should make a little bit of a difference. Tidus will now not waste his second turn using Cheer, and instead use Hasteca. Hopefully that gives us an edge. We'll see. So Tidus does exactly as expected and moves forward, I'm pretty sure, using Cheer. There we go. Now we have Cheer on everybody in the first turn, and I think that's going to be impactful. Inherited Tyranny is cast, Zazan moves in and hits our Tabi immediately, but doesn't really do a lot of damage. So far, so good. We do have the element advantage against Zazan, so that plays a huge role in him not taking much damage. Then we don't cast a buff immediately, but instead go to hit him. He did take decent damage. I think Zazan's gonna go down in the next couple turns, but let's see. Maybe I'll be surprised. Tabi uses Yorha Annihilation Dance, attacks Zazan. Now, I did not notice whether he cast a buff on himself or not for surviving. Yes, he did, so uses Courage, but at least that heals our to be back. Also, we get haste on everybody, so that's not terrible. Zazan uses Fake Death, makes sure he'll live for a couple more attacks, and looks like everybody, I think, on our team is taking this Tenebral Rose to the face. Our Kilfei is not built for survivability. I don't know how well she'll do against that attack, but seems like she's fine and heals back, then moves in to hit both the enemy team member, takes out Zazan for the second time, and now it's Tidus' chance. Maybe he'll kill one of them, uses Stunning Blade, and kills only one because he misses Zazan. That's terrible. Had he hit them both, we would have had a way better chance. Now, we lose a lot of HP on Tabi, a lot of HP on Tidus, but so far everybody's still alive. Don't get the provoke, that would have been so much easier. We finally kill Zazan a third time, and look at how much healing Tabi's getting from her passive. I know not a lot of players are running the Absorb Plus, but it's definitely a good passive. The enemy Kilfei survives one hit, and then Frostwind axes both our guys and kills them both. I guess she's also built for damage. Let's see which Kilfei wins though. Ours, just because she goes first. There we go, we finally managed to win with the Assassin build. So that's it, guys. I think the Bruiser build is the best of the bunch. I think you can take a couple hits while also dealing significant punishment, and some improvement you could do is run both tankiness vision card and offensive vision cards and try to do an in-between between Bruiser and Assassin builds. That would probably work best. The Evasion build just isn't reliable enough against enemies like Black Witch with their own accuracy up vision card and accuracy up buffs. You'll get hit more often than not, and then you're just wasting stats by trying to go for evasion, I think. But then the Assassin build is also not enough, right? We are just a little bit of damage off of killing the enemy Black Witch or Dwayne in a single hit. I think if I had the time-limited vision cards for damage, that would not be an issue. If I had light attack up and then possibly House of the Oath max out for slash attack up for light units, then yeah, it would probably be a good one-shot build, but not every player has that. And for those players that don't, go with the Bruiser route, and that's probably the best way to build her. Now, that was a new format. I usually do a single build in a video, but I wanted to try featuring multiple. So do you guys like that? Is that a good format to keep for the future? Let me know in the comments, please. With that said, thank you so much for watching, guys, and as always, if you've enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you the next time. Thanks again.